You're listening to the Small Business Accelerator podcast, accelerating success, one founder at a time.
With your hosts, Roger Bryant and Sarah Wilson.
We support small business owners, the little guys. We're here to help you win in today's landscape.
Join us each week as we reveal powerful strategies for small business owners that save you time and money.
Because we believe every small business owner should have access to Fortune 500 style strategies without breaking the bank.
Subscribe now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to accelerate your small business success.
Ever absolutely nailed a presentation, like you killed it, got amazing feedback, but still felt like a total phony, like any second now someone's going to call you out?
You're describing the classic imposter syndrome experience, that feeling of not being good enough, even with proof you are. It's crazy how many people deal with this.
Seriously, some research we're diving into says up to 80% of people experience this. 80%. So you're not alone if you felt this way.
It's everywhere, and it doesn't discriminate. All kinds of people, different jobs, experience levels, backgrounds, they all face this. The core issue is the disconnect between what someone achieves and how they see those achievements.
They downplay their wins.
Yeah, exactly. They credit luck, timing, or other people instead of owning their skills and hard work.
And this isn't just a fleeting thought, is it? This imposter syndrome really messes with your mental health. More anxiety, even depression, and less job satisfaction.
Absolutely. That constant self-doubt and fear of being found out, it's exhausting. Makes you second-guess everything, hesitate to take on new challenges, and even sabotage your own success.
You hit on something important, not going for new opportunities because of this fear. I've been there. It's like a voice saying, don't even try, they'll see right through you. Paralyzing.
And here's where it gets interesting. Imposter syndrome often isn't just a you problem. It's tied to the systems we're in.
Okay, let's unpack this systems approach because it seems like a big deal in what we're looking at. So we're saying imposter syndrome isn't just an us problem, right? It's a them problem too, like something about the whole system is off.
It's a huge perspective shift. Instead of just focusing on individual flaws, we got to zoom out. Look at the bigger picture. How do workplaces, societal expectations, even stuff like systemic bias, make people feel like imposters?
Makes you think if you're constantly told, even indirectly, that you don't belong, no wonder you feel like an imposter, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So part of this is pushing for environments where everyone feels valued for who they are, what they bring to the table. But there's also stuff you can do to change those negative thoughts, build real confidence.
And that's what's great about the research you found. It's got practical stuff, things you can actually do. One thing that stuck with me was the focus on, well, action.
Taking action is key. Devika Das, in Core Executive Presence, calls it rolling up your sleeves, getting your hands dirty, And Frederick Funk's 7-0-20-10 rule really shows this.
What's that rule for those who haven't heard of it?
It's a learning model, basically. It says 70% of what we learn is from experience, 20% from coaching or mentoring, only 10% from formal education. We wait to feel ready, but sometimes diving in is how you build confidence.
Totally. Public speaking used to terrify me, stomach in knots just thinking about it. But I started small, low-pressure stuff and used positive affirmations constantly. Like, I'd tell myself, you got this, even when I didn't believe it.
There you go. You use self-talk to change your mindset. Our brains are adaptable, so what we tell ourselves repeatedly, it becomes our reality.
It's wild how powerful those little thought shifts are.
Yeah.
And speaking of tools against imposter syndrome, the research mentions mentorship too. Finding people to guide you, especially where you feel insecure, huge difference.
Mentorship's huge. Finding people who've been there, done that, they offer advice, encouragement, a fresh perspective. That support system can change how you see what you're capable of.
So far we've got action, positive self-talk, mentorship. What else is in our imposter fighting toolkit?
Visualization's big. Create a clear picture in your mind of yourself succeeding, and it can actually calm you down, boost your confidence for real-life situations.
Speaking of picturing things, and this might seem totally random, but bear with me, I think there's a link to automation here. You had those interesting notes on that course, Automations Made Easy, by Martin Abonge.
Yeah, what about it?
So it's about, well, making automation easy, right? Getting rid of those tedious, repetitive tasks by automating them. Saves time, less burnout, could even mean more money. But here's the thing, I think it ties into fighting this imposter syndrome we're talking about.
Now that you mention it, I see what you mean. When you're drowning in those boring tasks, easy to feel overwhelmed, like you're not on top of things. Not exactly a confidence booster.
Exactly. Imagine ditching that mental clutter. What would that do for you? You'd suddenly have the brain space for bigger thinking, creative stuff, the things you're actually good at. And that can boost your confidence.
Like you're clearing away the weeds to finally see the full potential, right? What I like is how this course makes automation feel doable, even if you're not a tech whiz.
Right. Ebonge walks you through it all, step by step, picking the right tools, actually building those automation systems. Plus, he's got those ready-made templates and real-time examples, like having an automation coach right there with you.
Makes sense to me, you know? The more we can automate those gotta-do-them but boring tasks, the more energy we free up, not just for more challenging creative work, but for those visualization techniques we talked about, making space for that positive confidence-building stuff.
Exactly. Instead of being swamped by busy work, you free up your mind to actually picture success, which then fuels taking action, getting better results, and feeling more confident, like a positive spiral.
This has been great. We've covered imposter syndrome, how common it is, the bigger picture stuff that feeds into it, and a whole bunch of ways to beat those feelings, build real confidence.
And even found a link to automation and feeling more confident. Who knew? So, if you're bogged down by tedious tasks, feeling that self-doubt creep in, remember this stuff. Look into automation, try that positive self-talk, the visualization, and don't be afraid to find mentors who can guide you. You got this.
Thanks for tuning in to the Small Business Accelerator podcast.
We really hope today's strategies help you grow your business without breaking the bank.
Don't forget to check the show notes for links to resources we've handpicked for small business success.
If you found value in today's episode, it would make our day if you subscribed to the podcast and left us a review.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And stay tuned for our next episode. Next time, we'll reveal yet another game-changing strategy that's revolutionizing how small businesses on a shoestring budget take on giant corporations and accelerate their success.
Until then, keep accelerating your success.
This is Sarah Wilson.
And Roger Bryant, signing off.